Do you know how Xizang was before liberation? Head sitting. Human skin is Kium. Bone sitting low. Countless serfs were sacrificed. It is said that, at that time, a simple ritual. It actually requires 27 complete skulls and 14 bundles of intestines. If someone tells you, Kabbalah in the Xizang Museum, human skin thanka, leg bone drop meat lotus. These are made of human bones and human flesh. Weird items made of human skin. In the old days, Xizang honey zong, it is used as a sacred tool. Do you get a chill in your back? Some netizens commented that. When to Xizang? After learning a few stories, I found out. Like ghosts in Tibetan Tantra, people don't have very clear boundaries. Buddha statues that used to be enshrined in temples, they are all kind-hearted. A serene face. But look at Tibetan Tantra. Icons worshipped in many places. It looks so weird. It's more like a private place. Like an evil god. Today, Biaozi will tell you about the old Xizang before liberation. This video has not been released since. Please watch rationally. The old Xizang before liberation has been in the feudal serf stage. The social system at that time was governed by local government. Temple, monks and nobles rule. They are collectively known as the 3 generations of Xizang lords. Leaders at the top of the pyramid. 3 lords. He also holds all the wealth of the entire Xizang. But who would have thought? These people just took over Xizang when 5% of the total population, and the Tibetans at the bottom of the pyramid, every day under the rule of feudal serfdom, under hard life. Serfs had to pay in addition to normal taxes. There are also a lot of guest taxes. And the serfs couldn't breathe. Serfs who wanted to marry had to pay the scholar tax. Newborn children need to be watered with bath water. Cultivated land should be watered with cold water. There's so many different fragrances of sleep. And thick is not only a money-making machine for the upper aristocracy. It's their private property. Nobles could trade serfs at will. Buy and sell. And in their eyes, modest life is just a talking beast. Collar, the lord can unconditionally use all kinds of cruel punishment and those inhumane ways of punishing slaves. More than you can believe. Forced bitterness is only the lightest punishment of all. And chopping hands and stomping feet. Gobe. Frog eye. Cramps and broken bones are commonplace. In the time of Xizang serfs, the fate of the girls is extremely tragic. They were born into serfdom, destined to be the plaything of the nobles. Their living conditions are abysmal. Righteousness is not forced. Swearing to go hungry is the norm. Nobles have absolute power over young girls. Gambling is free. Resale gift. Debt repayment, etc. Some girls even reach the age of trial marriage. Marriage must also be decided by the nobles. Lucky enough to marry a normal man. Bad luck will be betrothed to the family's cattle and sheep. And here's what's even more distressing. Liberation. The previous Xizang maintained a system of accompanying burials for a long time, after the death of a certain funeral cadre. Up to 5,000 serfs were buried with them. Once these girls rebel, it will be made into a human skin candy card. Hard to imagine. The people at the bottom of that period. What kind of life is it? Countless at the Xizang Museum. Among the exhibits from the Xizang period, there are a few bizarre magic weapons that attract the most attention. The first one is a jigu. Who would have thought? This looks very ordinary ancient. It's actually made with a human body. The method of making it is even more cruel. Lamas would look first among the people. A girl who meets the requirements. Then pierce his ears. Cut out the tongue. The purpose of this is to keep girls out of the world. Wordless words. It's pure inside all the time. When you grow up, put it back on for another 4 seconds. Be influenced by the scriptures. at the age of 16. We'll choose an auspicious day to hold Wonderland Eye. The llama would offer it to the girl, and the satellite would stun her along the way. We bind them up into a pious position. Then, after digging a hole in the top of the head, break several times and pour mercury. Under the action of mercury, the human flesh will separate. Finally, take down the whole sheet production result. And they took the girl's leg bones off. Make bone drop with secret method. The llamas thought it was done by beating the drum. Drums can escape into reincarnation, acquire infinite power, and the girl's parents won't resist at all. Because the llama will tell them. Doing this can wash away the girl's previous life, the boundless sins created. Only in this way can the soul be liberated. Hundreds of years of religious belief. Let the farmers believe it. They believe that everything the llama does is for Purju. All beings Patanka and Ajagu. Just a small part of it. They don't just use human skin to make thankas. Even the leg bones of young girls are used to make valas. This valley flute, often used in exorcism rituals or celestial burial ceremonies. In addition to that, there is also Gabala made of human bone. Gabala must be handmade, and it needs to be ground every day. It's Gabala, it's shiny. The woman in city clothes, human bone Gabala, generally takes decades. Just think about it. A person has something like this in their hands all day long. This scene is also very strange. The second is the legendary meat lotus. It is said that the production process of meat lotus is simply cruel. Polar. There are 4 processes and thousands of steps. It will take 4 or 5 months at the soonest to produce the finished product. The girl who eats meat lotus is called to remember him. From the day we enter the temple, you will be tied up. The first step in peach juice is called Beijuan Lian. Is to have girls pose with lotus plates. The whole Vajrapesal that inhales Arhat. Inhale 108 in 9 days. To nourish the fleshy face. Make it plump. The second step is called 10 Poisons Invulnerability. This step is the longest and most painful. Many girls also die from this stage. They fill the girl with poison, swords and herbs. Let the two fight each other to balance the blood gas inside the fleshy face. Finally, the meat is loose and the heart is like a jade tiger. Dispose of the cloud effect. This phase lasts 81 days. The third step is called love in wine, also called ice charcoal bronze drum. Girls are released on the glacier during the day. Let the ice water fully soak the meat face. Bring it back to the temple at night. Let it sit on a slow-burning pottery stove and slowly roast meat lotus. Periods take shape. The slow roasting step is very difficult. Precise heat must be mastered. First of all, the fire is very small. Even if you put a piece of paper on it, you won't look for it less. The word happy is processed through the first few steps. The meat joint part has almost been separated from the body. Become insensitive. Feel no pain. That's why they're told to remember. The meat lotus is only temporarily deposited on them. Eventually, it's going to be cut off. After 18 days, the fourth step is to divide. At this time, if you remember that you are not dead, then it means that the magic tool meat alliance is done. All organizations should verify the success of the previous steps in a timely manner. It is also a great test of the sword skills of the star. No blood can be seen during the entire curtain cutting process. Don't disturb. Otherwise, it will directly fail. Once this is all done, remembering also loses its value. It can be processed. The third is Mother and Son Gudi. I believe that many netizens are unfamiliar with Mother and Son Gudi. There are rumors that valley flute enshrined in a stupa in Shizam. Each is paired. One large and one small represent a mother and child. Spicy. MOMS make bones out of pregnant women's thigh bones. The baby's leg bones are made into bone drops. This is a good pair of magic tools, because it is extremely difficult to make. A pregnant woman's bone loss on the top. It can be said to be priceless. The most important is a Tibetan Buddhist Lama, one of the important instruments of our sacrifice. Legend has it that the sound of ancient trumpets can please the gods. It can also summon the dead. At that time, these mother and child valleys can not only be used for sacrifice. Even many foreigners are interested, willing to collect at a high price. The fourth is the legendary Ming concubine's double break. When an innocent girl becomes a Tantra Buddhist mother. In the taboo Jonot. What struggles are the body and soul going through? This is sacred practice. Or is it a distortion of human nature? In 1987, People's Literature published an article. A highly controversial article. Text, a detailed description of the girl's double break empowerment. The whole process after death. Because the content is too bloody and true. Article banned from publication. The editor-in-chief at the time was also pardoned as a result. Double cultivation is also known as empowerment in Tantra. Enlightenment is an essential part of Tantra practice. After being selected to become a princess, practitioners must follow the established order. Receive multiple empowerments. There are 15 levels of empowerment. The empowering ceremony is usually presided over by King Kong. The location is selected in Tantra. Double deep Buddhas and a dojo with many magic weapons. Those who are empowered need to bathe and cleanse their bodies first. And then all dressed up, devoutly waiting to go public. Listing holding a vase with holy water. Sprinkle holy water on the head of the canopy. Then use capolarum to load Highland barley wine. Let the habituated drink it. The highest level of empowerment ceremony. The process is extremely complex. You only need disciples, looking for a virgin between the ages of 12 and 16. And it requires its appearance to be beautiful. The reason for such a request? Because the traditional belief holds that red beads can only be removed from the body of a virgin. After finding the right girl, we'll expect only a long enclosed secret room. Dedicated to listing, the girl has been called a concubine since then. The Buddha. The standards for selecting a concubine are extremely high. Yearning for women. Body organs and other aspects are very detailed. Request. The selected Mingfai will accept the listed diamond lotus. Spend value is then listed. Wait for Mingfai to enter the barrier for empowerment and rest. The disciples are not tortured outside the tomb. It's called the honeypot top. After reverse empowerment, it will be empowerment. After the listing is completed, the men and women have a great deal. We'll come to the present with the name fee. Remove the simulated treasure with your thumb and ring finger. Put it in the mouth of the disciple. The disciple needs to chant the corresponding spell. Then swallow the simulated treasure. Mingfei starts from the state of meditation. And I'm naked. No clothes. Remove the red beads from your body. Also put it into the mouth of the disciple. After the disciple swallowed the red bead, remove the real wood cloth. The guru handed Mingfei's hand to the disciple. Then use your left. Hands are covering their hands. The right hand holds the vajra on the top of the disciple's head. The purpose is to admonish the disciples. Secret maintenance requirements must be strictly followed. Do not pursue worldly lust. Otherwise, not only will it fail to achieve positive results, you will go to hell after death. After, the disciples and concubine Ming once again entered a state of double rest. In the process of empowering the high order, disciples should imagine the Bodhi water that turned into a zombie entered the Ming concubine, inside and then self-shattering, so as to reach a new realm. If the entire process can be successfully completed, it means successful empowerment. During the practice of empowerment, the King Kong listing needs to remain static, focusing your mind on experiencing the big things above, and all movements and postures must be determined by Mingfai to complete, but also to make like a happy Buddha painting. Actions like the one above. Hands fell on King Kong's neck, and must be proficient in more than 30 movements. During the long weekend break, Mingfai is often exhausted. I simply don't have the energy to take into account the so-called closed air repair. Okay, usually. Become Mingfai's girl. Most ordinary girls who have never been around. They don't have a deep foundation of cultivation, and their listings have undergone long-term cultivation. Most of them have certain qigong and ornamental abilities. This type of practice is actually practiced in practice. It has become more of a kind of destruction of women. Those ordinary underage girls. It is even more unbearable in the face of this kind of practice. Many people were tortured to death. When they died, their skulls were made into Kabbalas. Playing drum pushing was made for the first time. Become an instrument in religious ceremonies. For a long time, Xizang has always practiced serfdom. The nobles brutally oppressed the serfs. Make it difficult for serfs to turn over for the rest of their lives, serfs from birth, to endure endless abuse. But the nobles and monks enjoy their oppression with peace of mind. The superior living conditions created by serfs. As long as the nobles are slightly displeased, they can do all kinds of damage to the serfs. Their painstaking medicine is the lightest start. Gouging, gobe, guard, cramps and peeling are commonplace. Don't say a word and throw money into the scorpion hole. There is countless poisonous blood in the scorpion cave. Those who are punished will be mercilessly pushed into the hole, slowly crushed to death by scorpions in a wailing. If there is a little resistance, you can be easily deprived of your life. It's totally dehumanizing in the eyes of these nobles. Thick is just a talking animal. So most nobles would hold whips in their hands, even if the serfs were obedient to the nobles. It's hard to guarantee that you won't be beaten and scolded, an 80-year-old woman in Xizang once recalled. Serfs were worse than dogs, cattle and sheep. Dogs can enter and exit the room, can eat meat. Yaks can also eat grass and bask in the sun freely. But Menu only works hard day and night. Even the newborn child is enslaved. You grow up to be exploited like your parents. Even animals that can only live in the dark, squatting in the shed to sleep. Before democratic reform, most serfs didn't cover themselves with a quilt. You don't live to be 40. Liu Xizang, first-generation artist. Remembering his life in slavery, he said. Childhood. He wants to carry the noble young master like a cow and a horse. Young master during the exam. I have to be beaten for the young master. It's been a long time. A hole was punched in the face. Drink water, drink water. It might even come out of this hole. If the People's Liberation Army hadn't come to free these serfs, they and their descendants, I'm afraid it will never come to an end. Describe the situation in one sentence. That is, except for the shadow. Can't take anything, except for the footprints. Nothing is left. Hard to imagine. In the 1920s and 1930 seconds, the nobles of Xizang have used flush toilets. The house of the manor is filled with famous wine, and all kinds of leather clothes, like fox skin, mink skin. There are even some skins that can't be named, fresh from the luxurious life of these nobles. Ming Biao. Their obsession with human bones. Good is creepier. They are even willing to use thick human blood. Skulls and human skins are sacrificed. Once on the outskirts of Xizang, Lhasa, a lama is holding a prize. Ceremony. The content on the tribute materials list. Extremely shocking. It says 27 complete heads, 6 skulls, 4 leg bones, a complete human skin, 14 bundles of human length and several foot shoes. There is also a hairstyle called Samaru at the scene. In the eyes of Buddhists, his Songjin, life is believed to have the ability to ward off ghosts and evil spirits, even the world and hell together. Now, this sacred artifact is not properly preserved. It's not limited by technology, but because the origin material is too scary. It is said that it was made out of the skull of a man and a woman. They believe that the more devout believers, the more spirituality you have. The holy energy created in this way will be particularly powerful. The bone skin covering the sides. You have to use a spiritual body in order to ensure the sanctity of the human body. During the peeling process, the skin person cannot make any sound, except for Zamaru. There is also a kind of Buddha called Shengqi. It's called Kabbalah bowl. This bowl is not gold. It's not silver either. They're made out of human skulls. And it has to be the skull of a 16-year-old teenage girl. They think these girls are the purest. After making this bowl, a girl's regret will not be wasted. Instead, it will turn the bones of its body into bone rods, or bighorn. In Buddhism, human leg bones can be made into large horns. Blowing this horn contain ghosts and gods. And such a person's leg bones must be. It's the thigh bone of a woman who died of difficulty. This kind of inhumane behavior has continued for hundreds of years, and the prison called the Snow House. Patala Palace. It is often referred to as a pure land in the world. But in fact, underground in this area, there is a terrifying prison. Anyone who enters here, almost no one gets out alive. There is a series of criminal laws, as many as 50 kinds. Just imagine the circumstances that these criminal laws impose on people. It's creepy. Shizan, the closest place to heaven. It used to be like hell on earth. Some netizens said, if you have never seen this Shizan, I can't really appreciate today's Shizan. What a tremendous change has happened. When the veterans went to Shizan, the old man they saw it. I will recite the Golden Peak Mommy devoutly, and offered a white hadder. In Tibetan, in my heart, Mommy is a bodhisattva soldier who saves suffering and distress. It's no exaggeration to say. No People's Liberation Army. Tibetans can't see the light of hope at all. Until the arrival of the People's Liberation Army. It completely changed everything. The people of Shizan can finally get rid of this abnormality completely. Cruel slavery. Since then, the people of Shizan own it. Own land. Embarked on the road to modernization. That's it for this video. Follow up continuous updates.